A not uncommon error on my exams have been to either misinterpret the slope of a drawn line or not being able to draw a line with a specified slope. Towards the end of this video, I will show an example related to distillation and McCabe-Thieles graphical method. But to warm up, try to quickly tell the slope of these 6 red lines. You have the following 8 options to choose from: -2, -1, -half, 0, a half, 1, 2, and undefined. Undefined being plus or minus infinity. Pause here if you need more time to think. So here are the answers. Did you get all correct? If you have difficulties remembering that the slope is delta y divided by delta x, remember that y equals k times x plus m. Thus you can write y1 equals k times x1 plus m and y2 equals k times x2 plus m. Subtract the second equation from the first and you get y1 minus y2 equals k times x1 minus x2. In other words, k equals delta y divided by delta x. Now, in McCabe-Thieles graphical method, mass balances are drawn as straight lines in an xy diagram. The 3 equations look like this. To draw these lines, you either need to figure out 2 points on each line or 1 point and the slope. To get 1 point on a straight line, you can enter any value you want for x and calculate the corresponding y value. Now, our xy diagram is limiting to having values between 0 and 1. Thus, choosing an x value of, let's say, 2532 will not help us much. For all 3 equations, I would recommend using the composition that is already used in the equation when you calculate your first point. So, for your upper operating line, calculate y for x equals xd. For the q line, calculate the y for x equals zf. And for the lower operating line, calculate y for x equals xw. The 3 points you then calculate will all be on the diagonal in the xy diagram. The q line has the slope q divided by q minus 1, where q can be thought of as the fraction liquid at boiling point that we need to evaporate. Thus, if the feed is 75% saturated gas and 25% saturated liquid, we get q equals 0.25 and the slope 0.25 divided by 0.25 minus 1, so minus 3. So how do we draw our q line? Well, start in the point x equals zf, y equals zf. Since delta y divided by delta x should be minus 3, for each step you take to the right, you need to take 3 steps down. If you go 1 step in the negative x direction, you thus need to take 3 steps up. Note that to get reasonable accuracy, the step you choose to take should be reasonably large. If you just step 1 millimeter to the right and 3 millimeters down, it will be very difficult for you to draw an accurate line.